Welcome to Reality Hunt Club. Now, today I'm going to show you some things I have some mixed feelings about. But this is Reality Hunt Club. It's nothing we did wrong, but I'm going to, one thing about Reality Hunt Club, we share our experience and our knowledge and just what's going on. Maybe you guys can get something out of this. I know we're learning as we go. There's always a list of things we could be doing better. But good old Chuck was sitting in one of our tower stands, and he filmed these deer inside our electric fence. And about 500 yards, he didn't have a tripod. He was freehanding it, so it's a little shaky, so bear with the quality of the video. But the disturbing part of this is they're inside the fence. We got electric fence. They're not supposed to be inside the fence, right? We've got 8 to 12 hours of work on this fence. And there you see it. There's 2 young bucks inside our fence eating our soybeans. Now, the good news is not all deer that we've seen get inside the fence, because you can tell the difference between the soybeans growing inside the fence and the soybeans growing outside the fence. So that's the good news. But it's kind of depressing that they're inside the fence. So Chuck and I talked about it, and it's about 3 acres that we have. And these are 2 young bucks. They're 1.5-year-old bucks, so they've got all the courage in the world. And of course, anybody knows 1.5-year-old bucks, they're like teenagers and they don't have any sense. They're definitely adolescents, preteens, teenagers running around. And that's why you can see that they run and jump in the fence. But this design is what they call the Penn State 5. Penn State did a lot of research back in the 70s, and they came up with this design. It's real good for cattle. It might not be the most productive for deer. I'm going to go over that later on in the video as to what we're going to do to fix this problem. That's one thing about Reality Hunt Club. We'll show you what happened. We'll show you what went wrong. And we'll discuss what we're going to do to try to fix it the next year, or fix it now. And as you can see, the bucks are easing over to the fence. They're not eating as much as I thought they would, because he continuously filmed this. So it looks like they're just passing through. But you can tell by the way they run and the way they act, they have gotten shocked by this fence. Watch how he runs over there, eases over there. You can see the soybeans really good on that fence line right there. The weed control is starting. This is before the second spraying that we talked about before. But see, he gets right up to the fence. Oh, I don't know. I've been shot before. I'm going to stick my head through. I'm not quite sure. Then he kind of eases back, and then like I said, 1.5-year buck. Then he kind of realizes, hey, you know what? I'm stuck in here. I got to get out. And this is some good video Chuck shot. So he's like, I'm stuck in here. I better get me a running start. Maybe I can sail through it. Here I go. I got enough courage. Let me go. Oh, I'm through it. Woo, thank goodness. But anyway, here's some designs for our fence. As you can see, the top one is the Penn State 5. And you can see that it's spaced equally. Ours is not quite spaced equally because it's meant for cattle. And it does okay. Like I said, if it keeps 50% of the deer out, that's pretty good. And it lets the soybeans come up and grow. Now, the one next to it is basically the Penn State 5, what they call the slant. And Chuck's talked to me about we could slant this one. It'd be more effective where the deer don't like jumping over it, but it'd take a lot more work. We probably got 8 to 10, probably 12 hours invested on setting this fence up, redoing it, doing the batteries, and doing everything else. So, and the third one below is what they call the offset. Now, really interested in the offset. Gallagher Fence Company really pushes that. Dr. James Kroll, also known as Dr. Deer, he did the research for that, and that's where we're going to come up with that. And that's the one we think we're going to do. We got 40 poles, so what we think we're going to do is we're going to run that type of design next year, and we're going to fence in the whole 7 acres. Now, here's the offset, and what you got here is you got a 3-foot gap in between the outside and the inside, and then you've got the first one is about 18 inches of off the ground, the outside, and then the The inside one is 12 inches off the ground, and then the second string is 24 inches off the ground. So when the deer come up to it, it looks more three-dimensional, and they don't feel comfortable jumping over it because they have 20/50 vision or something like that, and they feel very there's a guy inside there fixing it, but they feel very with that type of vision. What I'm trying to say is their depth perception is not that good. You ever watch a deer jump a ditch? He's not going to just barely jump over it. They giddy up and they get over it big time. And so what Dr. Deere and Gallagher and some people in New Zealand did a lot of research. I've been reading up on this a lot, as you can tell. They've discovered the deer walks up to that first one and he looks at it and he looks at the other one, and it creates like a three-dimensional puzzle, and he doesn't feel comfortable, and it's 3 feet in between, so he doesn't feel comfortable, so he doesn't actually jump over it. So we've got the tape. We're probably going to have to buy us a little bit extra tape. But we think we're going to do all 7 acres of our power line next year. And we're going to try this design. We got to buy the little 2-foot poles, but we're going to use the 40 8-foot poles that we already have to set corner posts and to set posts in between, so we can tighten the line pretty tight. And then we're going to buy all the 2 to 3 foot ones to go in between. And we're going to run this configuration next year, which I'm kind of excited about. So let's look at a couple more photos of these. As you can see, they mowed on this picture. They mowed outside down, and they left the inside. There's another one. You can see the offset. There's the actual design. Like I said, the inside is 8. I think that's 18. Yeah, the outside's 18 inches, and then there's 3 foot in between these two, and then the inside's 12. And I can't quite make that out. 12 and 24 inches. That's what it is. So and then you run it around like that. That's called the offset design. So let's look at a few more, and a few more photos, and there you go. So that's our fencing dilemma. This Reality Hunt Club, I wanted to tell you what worked, what didn't work, and it worked. It obviously kept the deer out. We had some grazing pressure, and but it's worth it. I think it's worth the time to put it up. If we get some rain, and soybeans will come up and be a little bit better. But anyway, this is Rally Hunt Club. Wanted to show you, and maybe you can learn from us. I can't wait to do it next year and see the results and compare them back to this year. That's part of the engineering built into me. So thanks for watching Rally Hunt Club, and hope you could take something out of this, and maybe it could help out your food plots or your electric fence or what. So stay tuned for more episodes.